In today's video, I want to show you how you can actually get some really good shots when you're out in that field, and then actually how you can edit those photos really easily and fast so you can share them to social media. So if you're not subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get right into that first example. So for these examples, I'm going to be using Luminar Neo. I'm going to show you just how quick and easy it is. I've been using this now for about 3 years, and it makes the whole photo editing process so much quicker. Okay, so I've got the original shot here. Now you can see this is a really nice shot at sunrise, but I can make it look even better. So on the right hand side here, this is where you're going to actually edit your photo using all these tools available to you. And you've also got presets as well. So it comes with a lot of presets built in, but I'm going to show you how you can actually edit this yourself. But just an example here. So it identifies that for this scene, it recommends the natural skies collection. And then you can go through here and it will give you a preview of what each one will look like. And you can see each one is going to give that a different look. So I'm going to go through the edit tab now and show you just in a few simple steps how we can transform the look of this photo. The first thing I do is go to Super Sharp AI. This is a new tool that's available on here. And what this does is identifies that scene, and if you've got any blur at all, it will basically try and remove as much of that blur as possible to make the whole image much sharper. So even drone shots like this, you're going to have some kind of minimal movement while that drone's in the air. So a great starting point is just to go to Super Sharp AI and hit low, medium or high. It will quickly identify that scene, and then it will just make that whole image sharper. So that's my starting point. Now for this shot here, what I want to do is I want to change this sky. It's just completely blown out. So the first thing we're going to do, and what the main features of this software is that you can transform the look of that sky instantly. So I'm going to go to Sky AI, and here what you can do is you can go and change the sky. So you have loads of different options of different sky replacements you can do. So for this example, I'm going to use one of the sunrise shots here. So I'm going to select this one, and you can see what it does is actually completely change that look. So now you can see the sky, the before and the after just from that shot, but we can refine it even more. So I'm going to select that one, and I'm going to go now onto the sky orientation, and here you can actually adjust it. So if I want to adjust the horizon position, I can. So I can have it to about here. I can also change the vertical position and then the horizontal position. So I'm just going to have it a bit like that, and then I'm going to bring it down a little bit here. So if we look now, that's just much better already, isn't it? Now the key with this and any photo editing is less is more. You don't want to completely overdo it. So I can refine this even more now. I can go to the global slider, and I'm going to just move this a bit further up, and you can see now in the middle of the screen it's just closing and making this mask even better. If there's any gaps at all, I can just move that so it lines up perfectly. And we can zoom in here now, and we can just look and see that the actual mask has done a great job in one step to change the overall look of that image. So that's looking much better already. So now I've got that, that's like a good starting point if I want to actually change the sky. What about the rest of that photo? What can we do? Well, first of all, what we can do is also, now we've got the sky in place, we can actually go and add a sun ray. So we can actually click on sun rays and click place sun center. And now here you can actually move this little circle, and you can place where you want the sun to be. So you can see the sun's there. So I'm going to place it directly over it. And then I'm going to choose the amount to 1, and you can see that we've now got some great sun rays coming through. So that's the sky part of it done with that sun ray. So now we can go and actually look at the overall photo, and I might want to enhance other bits. So talking about enhance, we've got enhance AI, and this will detect that whole photo again, and it will add contrast or structure or brighten some parts of the scene automatically. So I can just adjust the accent AI here, and I can bring this up, and you can see now some of the actual bottom of the scene here. You can actually see it's a brightening that part, but it's not affecting that sky mask either. It's saying basically through the AI that it's too underexposed where the foliage is. So I'm bringing that up so I can enhance that here. So now we can just have it to say about 30 and just enhance that a little bit. And if we want to, we can also enhance that sky as well, but I just think that looks too saturated. So I'm just going to enhance that a tiny bit there. So overall, if we look now, that's the starting point. So we're doing pretty well, that's good. Now, a great thing on here is the erase tool as well. And the AI erase tool makes removing objects really fast. So you can see here now, I've got a bit of a road to the bottom right hand side here, and some houses, and a bit of a house here that was just cut in. So we can actually remove them really easily. So if we now just go over to where this house is, and we can actually just increase the size of this, and we're just going to paint over here. I'm going to do a really rough job at painting over this and part of that road there. Once you've painted over it, we can just hit erase, and within like a couple of seconds it will erase that. So we can actually do that for all of these distractions here. I'm just going to go over here, and then I'm going to paint over the road as well, and then I'm just going to hit erase again, and you can see now it does a great job at removing that road. If I want to, I can just remove this part here as well. It all depends what you want to remove. I want the actual emphasis to be on that sunrise and the mountains in the distance, so I don't want any distractions here. So the erase tool on here is absolutely fantastic, and it does a great job. So in 4 steps there, that photo has changed from the original to the after, and you can see what a dramatic difference that looks like. And then we can go to the crop AI tool, and if you want to then crop this into, say, share it on Instagram, we can just click on here, and now we have the option to share it as a story. So we can just get this lined up, and that will crop it instantly for you, so it's now shareable as a story. Or you can go back into crop AI, and then you can go and do it as a 1x1 for a Instagram post, and there we go. So that's the final one, and you can also go onto this slider here, and this shows you what it was like before, and then you can go over and look at the after. That's that first one done in 4 steps. This example here is in Mallorca, taken on the Mavic 3 Classic. Now if you want to actually just take this photo and share it to Instagram really quickly without a lot of effort, you can actually use the presets to make it look even better in like 2 or 3 steps, and this is going to be ready. Let me just show you how quick this is. I'm going to use the preset tab here. I'm going to go to the scenery selection. And now I'm going to go through here. I'm just going to go across and look which one I want to actually use. But I like how it uses the clear and sharp. So you can see here, if I select clear and sharp, I can also change the amount on this slider. If we just keep it at 100, let's just look at that before and after. I mean, it was composed brilliantly by the drone operator to start with, but the clear and sharp preset is really good. So that's a fantastic starting point. So we can click the edit tab here. Now if you want to, we can also make some other basic refinements as well. So we can go to that enhance AI, and we can just increase that a little bit as well. But there's also, if you want to or not, there's a few distractions in this photo. So we can use that erase tool, and we can actually remove this seagull here. There's also like a little rock there, and some little white dots on the water here. So if you want to, we can actually remove all these to remove the distractions, just like I showed you before. So we're just going to hit that erase tool, and they're all going to be taken care of, and that's going to be your end result. So that looks fantastic. And then we can go to that crop tool, and we can crop it however we like. Let's just save the example for Instagram again. So we can just position it there, and that's centered about here. Click that enter button, and there you go. Boom, done. That is the before, and that is the after. It's in like what, 2 or 3 steps. Absolutely fantastic. This is why this program is just going to make your life so much easier. So this is a bit of a red herring, but I want to show you can also use this for photos as well on ground level. This was taken on an iPhone, and it's also great for portraits. But if you're using a phone, for example, you can see here now there's hardly any background blur at all. But if we go to portrait bokeh, it identifies that the main subjects are here, and we want that background to be a bit more out of focus so we stand out. So we can actually go to portrait bokeh, and we can actually slide this amount up, and you can see what it does now. It actually will blur that background just by moving this slider, and we can actually change the softness level and the strength of it. So if we just zoom in a bit now, you'll be able to see the difference. So this is the actual after, and that's the before. So if we look at the building behind, you can see here that that's completely out of focus now, and it was in focus because it was just using an iPhone. And you can see these people here who aren't with us. We can take care of them quite easily by going to erase. We're just going to paint around them. We're going to hit that erase button, and then they're gone. Okay, this shot was actually taken on a DJI Mini 3 Pro in vertical mode. So fantastic, we can get our drones nice and low. So how are we going to make this photo even better? So as we said before, I'm going to go to super sharp, and I'm just going to make that whole photo much sharper. You can see how fast it does it. I can also click high, and it will take a bit longer, but it will identify that whole scene and just make sure that even though in that location it was pretty windy, that the drone taking that shot, everything now is really nice and sharp. So I can go to Enhance AI, I can actually adjust this slider, and you can see the difference that makes just by moving that up. So if I wanted to share this really quick, I literally just increase that accent AI and look at the before and look at the after. I'd click export, and that's done. But I'm going to show you how to make it look a bit better. So it's also got masking as well. So if I click masking, it's got masking AI. So what this does is all these little fireflies now are looking at that photo and identifying different parts of that photo, which you can then adjust, and it does it all automatically for you. So you can see now, as it's done its thing, it will give you 4 different options from this photo. So sky, mountains, transport, or man-made ground. So if I want to change the look of this photo but only affect the car, I can select transport. So now if we go to that accent AI, it's just going to increase the actual enhancement of the car. So we can see now nothing apart from that car is changing. So we now increase that to about 80%. Okay, so the car's standing out a lot more than it did before. We can also go to structure AI. This is going to increase the contrast and the clarity. So we want to just affect the car as well. So we're going to go to mask AI again. We're going to select the actual car, and then we're going to go to adjustments, and we're going to increase this. And we're just going to add now a lot of clarity to the car. We can also click boost and make this even more. You can see now that car is really starting to stand out. So I can also go to the develop tab. This is where you're going to have your exposure, your contrast, highlights, shadows, basically all the different sliders you get a majority of different program. So that's looking miles better. If we just look at the before and the after, that car stands out so much more. So I'll be happy to share that straight away. I'm just going to do one more thing. So go to landscape. This is going to affect the actual look of the landscape only. And you've got dehaze, golden hour, or foliage enhancer. So there's not much foliage to actually enhance in this area, but golden hour, I can actually just increase this slider and it just warms up that image a bit more. So that's the ending point. So we just look now at the actual before, and that's the after. I mean, that looks fantastic, doesn't it? The car proper stands out a lot more in 4 or 5 different sliders. So last example, I'm going to show you how using this software you can make a photo look like it was taken at night when really it was taken in the daytime. So this was taken on a DJI Mini 3 Pro. So first thing I'm going to do is going to hit Super Sharp AI again. I'm going to hit medium this time, and it's going to make sure that none of that photo has any blur in it, just to make sure that as a good starting point, everything is nice and sharp. And then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually change that sky. So I'm actually going to go with the sunset 2, which was here. So let's just make some adjustments to this. So I want the actual sunset to be on the other side. So I can actually just hit flip, and it will flip the sunsets over to whichever side you want. And I'm going to adjust these slides a little bit and bring that down there. And it'll just go through and make sure that what it has selected initially is completely right, and it will fix anything that's not fixed correctly. It's crazy how you can get different looks just in a couple of sliders. So if you don't actually want to hang around in the location you're in waiting for sunset and you want to just fake it, then you can do, can't you? So the good starting point there, and I'm going to now go to the relight AI, and this allows you to actually relight or darken part of that photo as well. So you can see now the brightness near. I can actually adjust this slider to make different parts of that photo either bright or dark. So I'm just going to actually darken the first part of that photo, so the near part, and I'm also going to then go onto the latter part and also darken that as well. So the whole image now is looking much darker, like it was taken at sunset. So that is looking great, isn't it already? I'm just going to go now to that enhance AI. I'm just going to just add a little bit. This will just increase everything on that photo. It identifies that photo, it will look at it, and it will just increase parts of structure and clarity and contrast where it thinks it needs it. So it's not like the whole image. It's incredible how it does this for you. So if we look now, that's the before, which was a really good shot if you want a daytime shot of Sakalobra, and that is the after. Now we can go into a bit more detail and go to structure AI as well. We can just increase a couple of these bars. You can play around with this as much as you want. For this example, I'm showing you that you can get results on this program really quickly. But if you also wanted to, you can go into a lot more detail as well, because you've got all of these different sliders to change everything if you wanted to. So that's just a quick look at using some of the basic features on Luminar Neo. If you want me to go into a bit more detail, there's loads more features on here, like the new upscale feature. It allows you to actually upscale your photos. It was taken like as a 12 megapixel. It will make it look like it was much better quality, all done through AI. And I just love how you can move these sliders and you're not just going to completely ruin that look of the image. It identifies the scene, identifies what it thinks it needs to, and all through AI it's going to improve that look of that photo. If you want to go and check Luminar Neo out, I'm going to put a link in the description. It's also going to be a discount code as well. You're going to be able to get an extra 10% off using my link. It's available on both Windows and Mac. Go and have some fun doing some photo editing. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.